Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you what is the best diet to follow after the age of 50. A lot of people ask me here in other videos about diet and nutrition to talk more about a specific diet for those over 50. We know that from this age on, some health problems can appear and it becomes harder to lose weight or maintain your weight. So, I'm going to tell you what you can do to minimize all of this. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. If you love tips on nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. So go ahead and subscribe and remember to turn on the notification bell to get updates. I have new videos every day. You're going to love them. Let's start our video by reminding you that if you like videos like this, where I talk more about people over 50, tips on nutrition, supplementation, lifestyle, go ahead and leave your like so I can come back and make more videos like this for you. And tell me, why are you interested in nutrition for people over 50? Is it for health reasons, for weight loss, to maintain your weight? What's your reason? Write to me here in the comments and I'll come back and make more videos related to what you mentioned to help you as well. Just as I mentioned before, after the age of 50, many health problems start to appear for some people. So there are people who start developing high blood pressure, cholesterol levels go up, and many people begin to gain more weight, sometimes due to hormonal changes, sometimes because of lifestyle factors. Sometimes the pace of life slows down. There's not all that hustle and bustle anymore, so we actually become less active and end up gaining some extra weight. Sometimes hormonal changes also contribute to this weight gain and make it harder to lose weight. And this can sometimes also contribute to metabolic problems related to diabetes and other health conditions. So it's very important to talk about a balanced, healthy diet for people over 50 so they can have more balance. Let's start talking about that then. A lot of people ask me what kinds of foods they should add to their daily diet to be healthier. Ideally, you should always prioritize fresh foods, foods in their natural state as much as possible, and avoid processed foods, industrialized products, and fast food as much as you can, because these foods are naturally very high in calories. Usually they have a lot of carbohydrates with a terrible glycemic index. Sometimes the concentration of carbs is extremely high. They have a lot of fat, a lot of sodium, so they really promote weight gain. So by cutting out junk food, these fast foods, and processed foods, you'll already notice a big improvement in your body. Mainly because many of the fats present in these processed and ultra-processed foods are pro-inflammatory fats, which hinder the weight loss process and also increase inflammation in our bodies, making the appearance of these diseases more likely. So ideally, you should try to focus more on seeds, vegetables, fruits, meats, chicken, fish, grains, legumes. I will give a few more examples and provide further guidance, but if you cut out processed foods, you will notice a significant improvement in your health and quality of life. That being said, I will now talk about some more specific nutrients and the food groups you can add to help you. So, a nutrient that is very important for you to consume more of when you are over 50 is potassium, but specifically foods that are rich in potassium, because potassium helps reduce swelling, helps eliminate excess sodium, so it can help improve blood pressure. It also helps you retain less water weight in your body. Many people experience more swelling due to hormonal reasons, and potassium also benefits the cardiovascular system, providing some relief. So adding more potassium is very beneficial. Good natural sources of potassium include beet greens, which many people throw away. Potatoes are an excellent source of potassium, and coconut water is also a good source of potassium. In addition, mushrooms and oranges are also good sources of potassium. Remember that I have a video here on the channel talking more about the benefits of potassium, how to add more to your diet, and I'll leave it down below in the description for you as well. It's also very important, starting at age 50, to focus on foods that are natural anti-inflammatories, because as I mentioned, over time, you have a greater tendency to develop health problems related to low-grade chronic inflammation, which is that kind of inflammation that exists. But for example, you don't have inflammation in your body because you have an injured knee or back pain. It's an inflammation that you don't feel as pain, but your body is more inflamed. I even have a video here on the channel talking more about what the symptoms and signs of low-grade inflammation in your body are. I'll leave it down here in the description for you. But usually it's very much related to difficulty losing weight and actual health problems that start to appear or get worse. So reducing inflammation is super important. Remember that turmeric is excellent for reducing inflammation. There's a video talking more about turmeric, how to use it in the best way every day in your daily routine. Berries are also great options. They are fruits that have little carbohydrate, few calories, but a large amount of antioxidants and a strong anti-inflammatory power. So all these berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, can be good options for you to add to your routine. Of course, sometimes they can be a bit more expensive, but you can always use the frozen varieties, which are also super nutritious and very interesting, in addition to adding other natural anti-inflammatory foods to your diet. I even have a playlist about the anti-inflammatory diet where I talk more about different foods you should or shouldn't eat. I'll leave it down here in the description because otherwise the video ends up getting too long, too extensive, and too tiring. It's also extremely important to remember to consume an ideal amount of protein starting at age 50. And I say this mainly because of women over 50, since over time, women tend to consume less and less protein. Men too, but usually this happens more with women. And protein is closely related to maintaining lean mass, our body's immunity, and preventing the skin from becoming too loose or saggy, especially if you're in the process of losing weight. So, good sources of protein. Eggs are always a wonderful option. Chicken in different cuts can also be a good choice. Beef, chicken, and fish can all be good options, as well as milk and yogurt. I have videos here on the channel including about plant-based proteins, because protein is also found in lentils, chickpeas, beans. I'll leave everything down below in the description for you. It's important to really focus on healthy fats, because they, together with dietary fiber, will help keep your cardiovascular system working better. After age 50, it's very important for us to pay attention to the cardiovascular system. For men, it's more related to weight gain, which tends to happen over time, and the accumulation of visceral fat. And for women in this age group, it's very important to start thinking more about heart health because after menopause, with the decrease in estrogen, women have a greater tendency to develop associated cardiovascular problems. Estrogen acts as a sort of protector for the cardiovascular system, and when a woman enters menopause, she loses that benefit. So ideally, you should always consume healthy fats, good fats like monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. Avocado, flaxseed, chia, olive oil. These are good options to add to your daily routine, and fiber is also a great choice because it helps eliminate bad cholesterol through the stool. So foods rich in fiber are excellent options. I even mentioned chia, flaxseed, and avocado, which are rich in healthy fats, and they're also high in fiber. So these are foods you can include more often in your daily routine. Psyllium and oats are also high in fiber, and vegetables in general, leafy greens, vegetables with skin, and fruits with skin are also good options. It's also important to try to control the glycemic index of your meals. I have an entire video talking more about the glycemic index if you want to learn more in depth, but it's related to the speed at which the carbohydrates you consume are absorbed. It's not related to the amount of carbohydrates, but rather to the speed at which they're broken down and absorbed, which is connected to how quickly they enter the bloodstream and trigger insulin secretion. So, the slower the absorption of carbohydrates, the less of an insulin spike you get, and the less abdominal fat you accumulate, which is very important for your cardiovascular health as well as for the weight loss process itself. In addition, we already know that frequent insulin spikes throughout the day are also pro-inflammatory. So, ideally, at every meal, you should include some protein, healthy fats, and fiber to lower the glycemic index and avoid those spikes in blood glucose and insulin. So, I'll leave here the video about insulin resistance and how to improve your glycemic index, which can help you as well. There are different types of diets you can follow to improve your health and lose weight. I even have a playlist talking about them. For example, there's the ketogenic diet, low-carb diet, healthy eating re-education, vegetarian diet, vegan diet, intermittent fasting. So there are several strategies you can use to lose weight and maintain it. I just want to add a note here. No matter which of these diets you choose, if you can get guidance from a nutritionist, that's even better for you. But always remember that the ideal is to try to adjust these diets so they include the nutrients and foods I mentioned and avoid consuming those foods I said are bad. Because, for example, there are people who, after turning 50, gain weight and start a low-carb diet to lose weight and lower their insulin. That makes sense, but when you look at what the person is actually eating, there's a lot of bacon, a lot of cheese, a lot of fried food. That's not healthy, that's not good. So a good video that I think you could watch if you want to get an idea of a really balanced and healthy diet that's sustainable in the medium and long term is the one about the Mediterranean diet. Because in fact, some studies have already found that it's closely linked to greater longevity and a lower incidence of chronic degenerative diseases. I even have a video here talking about the blue zones, the places in the world where people live the longest and are the healthiest, including cognitively. It's important for us to grow old, to live to a ripe old age, but with good health and with our brains functioning well. I think that's really the main thing. And usually, this is related to diets with profiles very similar to what is found in the Mediterranean diet. So, I'll leave these videos down below in the description for you, but know that there isn't a single diet that will work for everyone. Some people sometimes prefer to do a dietary re-education, being able to eat everything, while others prefer a low-carb diet. The most important thing is that you focus on good foods and avoid those bad foods I mentioned to you. So tell me down below, what is your diet like? How old are you? And when did you start caring more about your health and paying attention to your eating habits? I would love to see your comment. Like the video because that helps me. And share it with anyone who might enjoy it or needs it. Let's expand this chain of good together because that's what I want with this channel. See you next time. Bye.